Hey guys, it's Nikki here from Teelan's Yoga and Elite Recovery Shop, and we've got a nice chest opener here today for our flow. So you're going to need obviously your yoga mat, a block, and a strap for our practice today just to help you go a little deeper, and I've got my equipment from Elite Recovery Shop just to get me going here. So let's meet on the mat. In Savasana, you can put your props just out of the way, making sure you've got some water handy. And let's get started. So let's just start here in Shavasana, taking some nice deep breaths. Eyes are closed, body is relaxing. We are letting ourselves just have this moment, letting ourselves melt into the mat. As we start to slow our breath pace down. Letting your shoulders melt here, or maybe walk the shoulder blades together just a little bit under, just for a slight heart opener here. We're going to start by engaging our Ujjayi breath. Taking those nice big inhales through the nose. And as we exhale, we're constricting the back of the throat. Creating that ocean-like auditory sound. Carrying this breath with us in our practice. When you're ready, on your next inhale, we're going to lift the right arm up overhead so we can roll onto the right side body here, just cradling the head with the bicep, bringing the left palm to meet the earth here in front, just pressing the ground, thanking it for everything it does for us. When you're ready, we're going to turn over into a nice tabletop position here, having our hands below our shoulders, our knees below our hips, finding a nice long spine here. As we take our next inhale, I'm just going to lift my chin and see my chest towards the ground for cow. As I exhale, I'm going to tuck the chin, puff the back up for cat. Moving through at your own pace if you like. Inhaling, head comes up, tailbone comes up. Exhaling. Press through those hands, get that nice upper back stretch. Let's do 2 more at your own pace. Exaggerating each movement as you go. Last one of each. When you're ready, we're going to meet in that nice neutral tabletop spine. You want to make sure you've got your block handy here for this little sequence. I'm going to take a nice big inhale here. And as I exhale, I'm going to send my hips back to my feet and just start off in a nice little child's pose position here. I want you to engage the hands, press the forearms down into the mat. One more breath, just like this. And then I'm going to bring my palms together, bending my elbows, and bring my thumb to the back of my neck. As I push my elbows, my triceps, my armpits towards the ground, get a nice deep stretch underneath that shoulder area. My next inhale, I'm going to release my hands back down. This is where I'm going to grab the block. I'm going to start on my left side, just so you guys can see. So we're going to put the block underneath my left arm. I'm going to drop back into child's pose, so my elbow should be nice in the center of the block. And this time as you take your next inhale, you're going to bring those hands back to prayer and bend the elbows and bring the thumbs back to the behind the neck here, just so that left arm is elevated a little bit, going a little deeper here in the stretch as you press down into the mat, into the block just a little bit more. And one more breath just like this. As I inhale, I'm going to release my arms. I'm just going to lift my head up so I can slide the block over to my right side. Drop the head back down into child's pose, making sure the block's underneath the elbow, tricep area, palms come together. As I inhale, pull the hands back into prayer, bending the elbows, thumb to neck. Exhale, melt, pressing into the block, into the stretch. Feeling this deeply on that right side. That's it. Just keep breathing deeply, using that breath, those exhales to go a little deeper here. Giving me one last breath. And I'm going to release my hands from the palms to the mat. I'm going to come back up into tabletop just for a second. You can remove the block here. We don't need it. Just pressing those hands into the mat. We're going to do a little scapular protraction and retraction. So similar to our cat and cow, but we're just pressing and using that shoulder. So take a nice big inhale here. I'm going to let the shoulder blades squeeze together. And as I exhale, I'm going to press up and over press up, rounding that back, almost pressing up through the shoulders. Inhaling, sinking down, letting the shoulders press together. Good. Keep going at your own pace. Really focusing on using that full shoulder range of motion, those scapular push-ups here. We're going to do one more. This is great for your posture, great for any tension in the shoulders. So let's come back to that nice neutral spine. So great exercise you can do to help build strength as well in those shoulders. So give me another big inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to sink back into child's pose again here. So walking the hands out, bring the forearm off the mat, just pressing the hands into the mat. Forehead is on the ground. Just for one big breath here. Exhale, melt a little deeper. I'm going to flip the right palm up to face the sky, lifting my forehead off the mat. I'm going to take my right hand, sliding it underneath my left armpit, twisting it as far away from me as I can, dropping that right shoulder, right ear to the mat. You can stay here, or you can go deeper and bring the left hand closer in just by your right arm. I'm just going to lift the left leg up here. Going a little deeper, you can also lift the left arm up or bring it to the lower back. Any of these variations work. So whatever serves your body today. Focusing on that stretch behind the shoulder. One more big breath here. Good. Whatever variation you are, let's drop that left knee back down and pressing up through my left hand, untwisting, coming back to a nice child's pose just for one cycle of breath. Good. Let's lift the left palm up. Lift the forearm off the mat. Let's go to the other side. So left hand goes underneath the right armpit as I reach it as far away from me as possible, dropping the left shoulder, left ear to the mat. You can stay here if this is enough for you, or you can bring that right hand in, pressing a little deeper, twisting a little deeper. Maybe step the right foot out. Maybe bring the right arm up or to the lower back. Any of these options is viable, so do what feels good for you here. Good. One last breath, just like this. Wherever you are, we're going to drop that knee. We're going to walk that right hand back out. Let's untwist one last breath cycle here in our Savasana. Nice inhale. Let's come to tabletop, curl the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So just walking out your dog here. Staying nice and strong through the hands, not sinking in those shoulders, right? Press up. Do whatever feels good here. I'm going to alternate pressing one heel down. I'm going to keep my knees just a little soft here, my first downward dog. If you've lost that breath, you can come back to it. And I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to walk my feet slowly towards my hands, getting nice and low. You can lift your heels up here and get a nice little crouch position here, but keep a nice tall posture. I'm just going to hug myself as I twist a little side to side, just watching that balance. You can always bring your hands towards the ground. Good. Find some stillness here. Take a nice big breath. Lift the chin. I'm going to drop my hands to the ground. Take another big inhale here. And as I exhale, I'm going to lift the hips, nice standing forward fold. Again, your knees can be soft here if they're not quite ready for straight knees. Just focusing on a little hamstring stretch here. And take a nice big inhale here. Halfway lift as I exhale, fold over. Soft knees, inhale, sweep the arms up, come to rise, palms come together. Exhale through heart center. All right, this is where we're going to need our straps. I'll just face you for this. So, depending on how flexible you are, you can loop your strap if you only want half, or you can use it all. Just be mindful if you've got a metal piece you don't want to hurt yourself. So I'm going to start in a nice wide position above my head here. So I know this is a pretty good stretch for me. So when I come back, I start to feel the stretch, but I can still have my arms come all the way. If you can't, just adjust your hands, go a little longer. You want to make sure that you're feeling a stretch right here behind your back. Making sure you're standing nice and tall, just rotating through those shoulders, almost in a 180-degree motion. It doesn't matter how wide your hands are. It's wherever you feel that stretch, kind of right at this point, but you're still able to come down. Good. Let's do that one more time down. Last one up. Good. So I'm going to release my strap. If you have really tight shoulders and you can't clasp your hands behind your back with the palms together, please feel free to use the straps here, because we're going to have a whole little sequence here, and then we'll have a little water break. So I'm going to clasp my hands behind, bringing the palms together, pulling the shoulder blades together, just lifting the chin just a little bit. Take a nice big inhale here. And as I exhale, I'm going to fold forward all the way. Inhale, just lift the hands up off the lower back. Just letting the head hang here. So like I said, this is hard. Please feel free to use the strap or even a towel, whatever you've got. Letting your head hang loose, so you're just looking between the legs here. And I'm gonna bend my right knee and look over my left shoulder, bring my hands over towards the right. It's okay if they rest on your lower back when you pull them over. Take one more big breath here. Good, come back to neutral. Lift the hands back up, straighten both legs. Take one full breath here. Good, I'm gonna bend the left knee, keep the right leg straight. As I look over the right side, I'm gonna pull my hands over towards the left, even if they rest on the back. I like the stretch of my shoulder here. That's it. Good. Come back to neutral, straighten both legs. Bring the hands back up. Press the palms together if you've got them together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, everybody. If you've got your hands here, try pulling them a little deeper, a little over your head. Even if you've got a strap, you can do that as well for one more breath. I'm going to release my hands. You can put your strap down. I'm going to clasp my fingers and just bring them to the base of my neck here. So I'm not pulling, just adding the weight of my arms, stretching out that neck, stretching out those hamstrings just a little bit more. Try to keep the legs nice and straight. Here you go. 2 more big breaths here. Last one. Good, let's release the hands back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's plant the hands on the ground. I'm going to just step back into plank just for a second here. Find a nice long plank. Core is tight. Feel free to drop your knees if you have to, but we're going to do just a little flow here. Take a nice big inhale here. Exhale, over down to chaturanga, elbows tight. Inhale, pressing up, dog or cobra. Shoulders are strong here. Exhaling, downward facing dog. All right, just where you are, take note, see how your dog's doing. Lifting up that tailbone, maybe engaging the quads to release those hamstrings just a little more. Maybe you're pulling the heels down here, getting a deeper calf stretch. So just take note how you feel here, and give me one more big breath. And then I'm going to drop one forearm at a time towards the ground here into Dolphin. Nice shoulder stretch, shoulder strengthening here. Making sure we're not sagging in, pressing up through those arms. Head should be off the ground. Still focusing on the lower body, should be doing the same thing as your downward dog. Lifting that tailbone to the sky, pulling the heels to the earth. Give me one more breath like this. Good, and then I'm going to walk my feet out so I can come into a nice forearm plank here. Make sure the palms stay shoulder width apart. Just going to walk my hands forward so I've got a nice long plank. 2 more breaths just like this. Last breath. Nice slow ujjayi breath if you've lost it. Good, let's drop to our knees. Coming back to a nice tabletop position, finding your length in that spine. Finding a little neutralness with your shoulders. Making sure you're spreading those fingers as we root down. You're going to take a nice big inhale here. We sweep the right arm up towards the sky, opening the palm towards the right side. Nice little twist here in my tabletop. I'm going to sweep the arm down underneath my arm. Give myself a little hug. You can drop that right shoulder down just a little bit as you look over that left shoulder. Let's do 2 more of those. Nice big inhale up. Really reach up. Really try and open up here the chest. Exhale, sweep down. Little hug. Drop that right shoulder. Look over the left. Last one. Nice big inhale up. Reach, 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 press through the left hand. Exhale, sweep down here. Nice little hug. Let's Come back to nice neutral. Tabletop. Give me one more big breath here. Find that Ujjayi breath again if you've lost it. So we inhale, we're going to sweep the left arm up towards the left, this time opening the palm to the side, pressing through that right hand. Exhale, sweep underneath the arm. Giving yourself a little hug as you drop that left shoulder. Okay, you can go at your own pace here. Inhaling, opening up. Nice little twist. Exhale. Good, last one. Really try and open up your biggest here. Nice little T position. Exhale. Good, and then drop your hand. You can sit back on your feet, grab a quick drink of water here. Maybe give your shoulders a little roll out. Check in, see how they're feeling. We're going to go into a standing flow before we come back onto the ground. So when you're ready, you can meet me back in downward facing dog. Just check in and see how your shoulders are feeling. We're going to get a little break here with our standing flow. Next inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky, lead with the heel, inhale. Exhale, knee to chin, hanging plank, hold for a full breath. Next inhale, plant the foot, pivot the left foot 45 degrees as we inhale, warrior one. Sinking into that warrior one, relaxing the shoulders, pressing that left hip forward. Sink a little deeper into that right knee. Then you're going to bring your palms together, clasping the fingers but releasing the index finger. Take a nice big inhale here. As I exhale, I'm going to look up towards the sky and trace my fingers just a little bit overhead. Relaxing the shoulders, just a little bit of a chest opening here. Heart to the sky. One more big breath here. Just go as deep as you feel comfortable. Inhale back up. Straightening the left leg. Exhale, let's fold forward here. This is where you may want your block again, or you can grab both sides of your thigh here, shin here. I'm going to use my block. We're going to go into Revolve Triangle. You can stay here if this is intense enough for you, or if you want to go deeper, you can bring your right hand to your hip. Or you can exhale, open up that right hand towards the sky as you bring your gaze over to the right side. Try to tuck that right hip back in line with the knee and ankle, lengthening up through the crown of the head, reaching those right fingers towards the sky. Good. One more big breath here. If you got your arm up, bring it back down. Exhale, just fold over, drop the head. Inhale, open back up, warrior one. Just give me one breath here. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Find that nice long warrior two. Back foot pivots on that 90 degrees. Both fingers are spread shoulder height, pulling apart from each other. Sinking a little deeper here if you can. One more breath in our warrior two. Again, you can use the block if you want to go deeper. Otherwise, I'm going to bring my right arm to my right thigh, sweep the left arm up overhead, reaching up, looking up to my side angle. You can always come down to the ground or block if you'd like. Twisting and opening towards the sky. Letting that left armpit reach right up to the sky so those left armpit, left fingers reach up as well. Spreading nice and wide. Inhaling back, warrior two. Just find this warrior two, 2 breaths. Last one. And we're going to windmill our hands down, framing your right foot, pivoting and stepping back into downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Last breath. Good. Optional flow. Come with me or modify or stay in your down dog. Here we go. Inhale towards plank. Exhale, lower down. Nice flat back. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Find that ujjayi breath again if you've lost it. Slowing your breath pace down. Letting it try to be your guide. Remembering, you don't have to be at my pace. Everything's just a suggestion. Your next inhale, let's lift the left leg, heel to sky. Exhale, knee to chin, hanging plank. Full breath here. When you're ready, inhale, plant the left foot down, pivot the right foot 45, warrior 1 on the left. Lunging here, trying to square those hips off, facing the front, pressing through the outside edge of that right foot. Core is still tight. So we lunge a little deeper in that left leg. Again, we're going to clasp the fingers together overhead, releasing the index finger. Taking a nice big inhale to lengthen, looking up to the sky. Exhale, trace the fingers just a little bit across the sky for crescent. Warrior here. Lifting up through the chest. Keeping the shoulder blades pulled down. Still lunging. Still breathing. Last breath here. Good. Inhale, come back up, release the grip. Straighten the left leg as we exhale, flat back, fold forward. Again, you can grab your block here on the right side if you'd like, or both hands can be on the shin for our revolved triangle. If this is deep enough for you, you feel this in that hamstring, really intently, you can stay here. If you want to twist, you can bring your, maybe even just your gaze towards the left with the left hand up, or you can reach that left arm right up to the sky. Try to keep that back nice and flat. Maybe bring the gaze to the fingertips. Feel that nice revolved triangle position with those legs, with that body. Pressing through your hands on the block, the ground, or into your leg, just for a little stability. Nice tight core for the last breath. Good. Bring the left arm back down. Drop the head. Just a little bit inhale, and then let's lunge into the left leg as we open up warrior 2 on the left, flipping the back foot, toes facing the right side this time. Arms are strong. Gaze comes to left middle fingers here. Sinking a little deeper here. Again, pressing through the outside edge of that right foot. One more breath here in our warrior 2. Again, you can have that block handy as we go into side angle on the left. I'm going to drop my left arm to my left thigh as I sweep the right arm up. You can always feel free to come down to the block or the ground. Opening that armpit up to the sky. Really want you to focus on the twisting action here, so don't worry about going so deep. Reaching those right fingertips up and over, but also pulling the arm a little bit behind you. You find that nice twist through the torso, through the chest. And one more big breath here. Good. Inhale back up, warrior 2, 2 breaths. Sink a little deeper. Last breath. Good. Windmill your hands, framing the left foot. Get rid of your block, stepping back into downward dog. 2 breaths. All right, optional flow, or you can stay there. Inhale, plank, exhale. exhale, lower down. Pressing up, dog or cobra. Pressing those feet into the mat as you exhale to downward dog. 2 breaths. Last breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to drop to your knees, grab a quick drink, and we're just going to finish off with a few seated poses. Again, if you got tight shoulders, you may want to have your strap handy. Not quite done with those shoulders yet. All right. When you're ready, you can find a nice seated position. You can face the top of your mat. I'm going to just face you guys so you can see. And I'm going to take my right shin, flexing my foot, and I'm going to line it up with the short edge of my mat. I'm going to bring the left ankle just above that knee here into this log cabin. Your knee's up here, that's okay. You can use your body weight. We're just going to press down into the stretch a little bit, maybe hinging forward from the hips, not in the spine. Just looking a little bit in front of us. Maybe we actually need to envision that log cabin to give us a little warmth on this dreary day. Maybe you just want to bring your breath to those hips, that intense opening here. One more big breath like this. Good. I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to pull it away from, my left foot away from the right, so my knees are stacking. So you're going to be a little bit on the angle towards the right. That's okay. So this is just going to change where you feel the stretch a little bit deeper down the sides of your legs. And we're going to go into our cow face with our cow face arms, which is our tricep stretch. So option 1 is to take the strap in your left hand, bring your arm up into this nice tricep stretch, and then grab the strap from below. You're going to use that right arm to pull the left arm down. If you can bring your fingers together without the strap, you do not need to use the strap. So the left arm is on top, the left leg is on top. Stay up nice and tall here, sticking that chest out. If you've got your fingers together, try and bring them a little closer together. Same thing with the strap. Try and bring your fingers a little closer together. Walk your hands up the strap to get a little bit more of an intense stretch. 2 more big breaths here. Last big breath. Good, I'm going to release my arms. I'm going to help my leg back over. And I'm going to switch my legs. So my left leg is going to be on the bottom. That shin is kind of that mat, parallel to the mat with the flexed foot. And I'm going to bring the right ankle on top, flexing the foot just above the knee. Just take note if this side's tighter or not. It's not a big deal. We're just taking note. And again, you can use your arm, your body weight, hinging at the hips, trying to get that right knee down to that left foot. Don't worry, it's a work in progress. A lot of us have tight hips. It's just the nature of our lives. We sit a lot at work. We can't really go many places right now, so we still do a lot of sitting. So just maybe feel your hips, feel how tight they are, right? When you press in them, those are the muscles that are stretching. This is a great stretch. You can do just before bed, or you can even do this kind of like a half figure 4 while you're seated on a chair. All right, let's go deeper. Have your strap handy. I'm going to take that right foot and I'm going to pull it away from the left. As I stack my knees, you can adjust yourself if you need to. It's okay if they don't quite stack. Just go as far as you can. Again, feeling that stretch deeper down. The legs a little more on the outside. I'm going to take my right arm up over top. Maybe use my left arm to press deeper, using a strap if you need it. If not, that left hand comes behind and grabs the hands or the strap, pulling you deeper in the stretches. You sit nice and tall. This is definitely my tighter side. You've got your hands together. You can even pull up and see how the stretch feels on the bottom arm. I find the most intense part for me. And just breathe here, keeping the spine long. We've got 2 more big breaths here. Last one. Good. Releasing your arms. You're going to uncross your legs. Just make sure you've got space to roll behind you. I'm going to engage my core, and I'm just going to slowly roll down onto my back, letting the legs go. We're going to finish off with Happy Baby. So let's bring the feet first in, mat width apart, and just do some windshield wipers, a little counter stretch from those 2 poses, our log cabin and cow face. Again, going at your own pace. And we're going to find some stillness. On my first inhale, I'm going to pull both knees towards my armpits. And I'm going to grab the outside edges of my feet and bring the soles to the sky. If you can't grab the feet and keep the soles to the sky, you can always grab underneath those knee pits and hold your legs in that way. Letting the knees splay out, fall open here in our Happy Baby. You can create some movement here, some rocking, being really happy in that baby. You'll feel that nice massage in those kidneys. Should feel good. Alright, if you're moving, just bring yourself to some stillness here. Let's exhale, maybe pull a little deeper into those feet or push the feet in the hands. Still trying to keep those shoulders on the ground. Then I'm going to release my feet back down. And I invite you to join me here in Savasana, just finishing up. Giving those hips or legs a little wiggle out. And again, I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades together. Just creating a little bit more of an opening in the chest and the heart. As my palms face up. Find this nice relaxed feeling here. Just taking note how you feel. Did a little bit of hips there at the end, but we really focused on the shoulders today. So hopefully you're feeling inspired to stand tall. Feeling a little looser. Feeling like you let your heart shine a little deeper. And just know you can practice any of these poses on their own. Will help really open up that chest. Having good posture does help alleviate shoulder pain, back pain. So just know that these poses are safe poses for you to practice. Even when you're in a little pain, just be mindful how deep you go. Always listen to what your body tells it. Listen to the cues. And you just want to make sure you're feeling a nice deep stretch. Never pushing yourself into more pain. So you can let your breath just come back to normal here. I'm going to let myself sink into the mat. Remember, you can always stay in Shavasana as long as you need to. This is a safe space. This is a nice healing pose. Let us recover. Let us focus. And let us relax just a little deeper. But if you're ready to return back out to the world, you can come with me, or you can stay here as I inhale, lifting the left arm up overhead this time. We're going to roll onto the left side body. Again, pressing that right hand in front of me into the earth just for a second. I'm going to press myself up to a nice, comfortable seated position. I'm choosing my knees. You can choose on your tush. Having your legs out, it's up to you. And wherever you are, we're going to bring ourselves into our nice prayer position at heart center, and either keeping your eyes closed or downcast. Thanking yourself for this practice today, I'm sure your shoulders are also thanking you, and your posture, your back. Thanking your fellow yogis for sharing in this practice and their energies and the light of me.